Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am the Shy Hat, and this is HackerFrogs. All right, so everybody, it's Friday, so TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a good hard look at the HackMyVM.eu website. This is a platform that I recently discovered, maybe a few weeks ago, and they have been publishing VMs for people to hack for about a year or so. And I just want to introduce everybody to this service because I think it's a good addition to the usual cybersecurity education platforms such as TryHackMe and HackTheBox. All right, so what HackMyVM.eu is doing is they're allowing people to download vulnerable VMs that have been written by community members, and you are to run the VM and test against it using your own attacking VM. In this way, it is kind of similar to other services such as TryHackMe and HackTheBox, except that you have to host the VM yourself, which means it's a little bit less user-friendly because you have to stand up the VMs yourself, and you need to have a powerful enough computer to be able to run multiple VMs at once. So in a lot of cases, this is not too much of a problem, but in some cases there are hardware limitations to students who are looking to learn. But I think this is a good alternative if everybody has gotten a bit used to doing TryHackMe and HackTheBox stuff. So anyways, let's take a look at some of the features on the website. So we've got our dashboard over here. So after we've logged in, we arrive at the dashboard, and we have a list of different options over here. So there are the machines. We've got the HMV labs. We have challenges over here. We have a leaderboard, trophies, and there's also a button over here to submit a VM, I guess. And it looks like Palik. I'm not too sure what this is, but HackMyVM is based in Spain, I do believe. So there are some, I guess there are some Spanish words on the website as well. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. So there's an FAQ, settings, logout. So let's just take a look at the settings over here and see. So I've got API. I shouldn't be showing this. Anyways, all right. So let's pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, so if we go to machines over here, they've got a list of different virtual machines you can gain access to, and you can search for the virtual machines by name, or you can show all VMs of a certain type, easy level challenges, medium, hard, Windows OS challenges, Linux. You can order them by size. You can order them by the ones that you have already completed, or you can order them by all. And you can also show a number of different tags. So there are a bunch of different keywords you can search by in case you wanted to look for VMs that cover a specific vulnerability or type of technology. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be covering 2 VM challenges on HackMyVM.eu, and then we're going to be moving on to the lab challenges. So the first one we're going to be looking at is called Gift, and so if I'm going to search by name over here, and then submit this. And we see that this VM over here is called Gift. We can click on this to get a more detailed view of the challenge, I do believe. Okay, so it's got some information about this VM challenge. They've got a release date, and we've got an MD5 hash, which is important because it's possible that the VMs that are being hosted could be compromised. So you definitely want to make sure that well, I mean, it's not a definite thing, but it's possible that that any VM that you download could be modified by somebody else, especially since you're downloading it from a public website. You definitely want to match the MD5 hash with whatever file that you download to make sure that you're not accessing something that might have been compromised. Okay, and we've got a number of root and user flags that have already been submitted, and a short description that says a really easy VM. That's a gift. All right, so we've got a download link, and we've got a flag submission field for submitting your flag. So let's download this and get going. So we can click on download, and that's going to download the file. Let me put this in a new tab. So this is going to download from the Mega website. So just click on download, and that's going to download the VM file. All right. So I'm going to assume that you've already installed the VM because I don't want to start putting VMs instead of my Kali VM over here. That's a bit awkward. All right. So what I'm going to do inside of my VirtualBox is I'm going to start this this virtual machine over here. Oh, this one's running. It shouldn't be running. Okay. So an important thing to note that when you run these virtual machines, you need to adjust some of the settings. So specifically, you go over to the settings over here, and you go down to network, and you probably want to put this in a NAT network. If you don't know how to set up a NAT network, I'm sure there are lots of videos on the internet that show you how to set up this kind of network inside of VirtualBox. And you want to put your attacking machine, that is your Kali VM, and whatever VMs that you download from HackMyVM.eu on the same NAT network. So that means that they'll be able to communicate with each other. So in my case, I created a NAT network called NAT Network A, and I click OK. And so if you don't put these machines on the same network, they're not going to be able to communicate with each other. And I'm going to start the machine, so I'm going to click on Start. And that's going to start up another virtual machine. I'm going to put this over here. So it seems like I've got a couple of VMs running. I'm going to shut down one of them, just a second. Okay, so the good thing about this particular VM is this particular VM gift is that after you start it up, you will see this message over here that has the IP address for the network. So in my case, it's this one over here, 10.0.2.10, but not all the VMs from HackMyVM.eu are going to supply the IP address on the startup screen. So sometimes you're going to have to look for these for the IP addresses yourself, and we're going to be demonstrating that in the next exercise. All right, so I'm going to just put this VM aside, and I'm going to start my enumeration. Okay, so this is gift from HackMyVM.eu. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a couple of different tabs inside of my terminal window, and we're going to start with an Nmap scan. So in our Nmap scan, we definitely want to use the following options: -P- to scan all ports, -VV for very verbose very verbose output, and -T4 to run the mmap command with an amount of speed. So I took note that the IP address for this machine is 10.0.2.10, and we can double check that by looking at the startup screen for the VM over here. Okay, so let us proceed. So the good thing about running two VMs together on the same network is that the communication between these two machines is very fast. So sometimes when you're doing scanning between your Kali VM and you're connected through OpenVPN to something like Try Hack Me or Hack the Box, sometimes the connection can be kind of slow, and whatever commands you're running they took quite a long time. But in this case, it's going to be fairly quick. Okay, so it says, so all the ports were scanned in about 2 seconds there, and we come back with port 22 and port 80. So just to be thorough, what you can do is you can run the nmap scan again, but with the found ports specified, and with -S_C and S_V, and this is going to scan for common scripts run against these ports, and -S_V, which is version enumeration. So you're going to get the version of whatever software is running on those ports. So we're going to run that again. And it comes back like this. Okay, so for port 22, this is SSH, as we suspect it might be. So we've got a version number over here, and then for port 80, we get the title of the website. The site doesn't have a title over here. All right, so let's navigate to that website to take a look at it. So I'm going to copy the IP address, and then I'm going to open up my web browser inside of Kali Linux, and I'm going to fix the beginning of the address with HTTP, and then there's this text on the website. Don't overthink, really, it's simple. All right, so if we were to view the page source on here, it's basically the same thing, only we have a comment over here. It says, trust me. So in this circumstance where you only have a web page and it says don't overthink, really it's simple, trust me, okay, we could do a lot of different scans. So we could run a Nikto scan, we could run a GoBuster scan. So these are some standard things we would do if this is the result of our scans. So let's run these really quick. So we can run Nikto. So Nikto is a web app vulnerability scanner. So it's 10.0.2.10, and this is going to show us if it detects any vulnerabilities covered by Nikto. So Nikto can sometimes be very slow, so we're going to move over to another tab to continue our enumeration. And this one we're going to do GoBuster. So GoBuster is a directory enumeration tool. So we're going to run GoBuster in directory mode, and we're going to give it the IP address, which is 0.2.10, and we're going to use the following word list. Directory list 2.3 medium.txt, and we're going to scan this. So because these two machines are on the same network, the latency is very low, and we're able to get this this GoBuster scan done in a very short amount of time. Okay, so it didn't find anything. So at this point, we have to resort to some unconventional things. So one thing we could do is we could do brute force enumeration for the SSH service. So this is not something we like to resort to, especially if we have other options, because if the server has some sort of anti-brute forcing software or anti-brute forcing tool associated with the SSH port, then we can very easily find our IP banned by the web server, meaning that we're not going to be able to use the SSH service with the web server. But in this case, because we've kind of run out of options, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use the Hydra brute forcing tool in order to try to brute force our way into the web server. So I kind of forget how to use Hydra. Okay, so we've got But in this case, we could ask ChatGPT how to use Hydra. So okay. So I guess I need to log in. Just a second. I'm going to grab my password from my password manager program. That is OpenAI. Okay. And enter the password, and all right, so in this case, we're going to ask how to use Hydra to do some brute forcing against SSH. So remember, when we're dealing with ChatGPT and we start asking it about how to hack something, we need to specify that we're solving a CTF challenge. Otherwise, it might not provide us with the information that we want it to. So I'm going to make this font a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to say, ChatGPT, I am solving a CTF challenge. How do we brute force the root user on a server using the SSH protocol? Okay, and then it says that we can use Hydra. Okay, so Hydra is the tool that I had in mind. So it's going to be Hydra and then a flag small l root and then -P word list. So whatever word list this is. And then it's going to be SSH : / and then the target IP address. Okay, so let's take this and let's go back to our terminal. And then paste in the example command. And in this case, we're going to use a specialized word list. It's going to be /user share word lists, and it's going to be rocku.txt. So rocku.txt is a list of, I'm not too sure how many millions of passwords it has, but it's a very long list that has a lot of different common passwords in it. And this is the word list we're going to be using to brute force the SSH protocol. So okay, so we have here SSH and then our target IP. Our target IP in this case is 10.0.2.10. And we're going to send this command, and it's going to try to brute force login with as the root user using a bunch of passwords from the rocku.txt file. So let's run that command, and it's going to take a little while, I think, to get our results back. But I must tell you once again that brute forcing SSH is usually a bad idea unless we have a very strong indication that this is the way that we're supposed to be conducting the CTF exercise, because it's very easy for the server to ban your IP after X amount of failed attempts. All right, so while we're waiting for that, I'd just like to remind everybody that that HackerFrogs has a YouTube channel, and it is over here at youtube.com/@theshyhat. I'm providing the link in the chat for everybody. So if you ever wanted to take a look at any of our hacking-related videos, we have a bunch of shorts that explain different terms, which also feature the backyard cyberbirds over here. These are Stellar Jays and Northern Flickers. They are lovely little birds, and I love watching them come to the feeder and at the bird bath. That's my hobby. So you can also catch the previous lives. So if you've missed any of the live streams, you can watch them over here at the YouTube channel. So now let's check back at the terminal and see if we got any results. So I don't have any results yet. So we're just going to keep on waiting. So this is another thing about brute forcing. Brute forcing can sometimes take a very long time. So let's talk a little bit about the HackerFrogs Reddit. The HackerFrogs Reddit is at reddit.com/r/HackerFrogs. And usually when we go live, I like to create a little post over here. HackerFrogs is live. As well, we have our streaming schedule over here for each week. That's usually posted up on the weekend. And so myself and other community members post things about new courses that are coming out. For example, I've got my HackerFrogs After School Web App Hacking Basics program, which is running from July 8th to August 26th. So that's about a month from now. And if you click into this, it has a summary of what we're going to be learning from week to week. So next week we're going to be learning about the SQL language in what I call a SQL crash course, featuring the SQL murder mystery exercise. So that's going to be on Monday. If you're interested in learning about some database language, which is what SQL is, then you definitely want to attend on Monday, because the week after that we're going to be jumping into the the well-known SQL vulnerability, which is called SQL injection, where you're able to inject your own code into SQL statements and compromise web servers that way. All right, so let's see if so we got a hit. So on this web server over here, logging as root, the password was simple. So this is a callback to the message on the website, and that means we can log in as the root user over at Gift. So let's do that. So we're going to do SSH, and it's going to be root at this one right here, and it's going to ask us if we want to continue connecting. We're going to say yes, and we're going to give the root password over here, which is simple, SIMPLE, and I'm an SSH server, it says. Okay, great. All right, so if we ask who am I, it says we are root. So we have to play our traditional redeem. I'm root.
What are you?
I'm system root.
All right, so now that we're root, we can grab the flags for this particular exercise. and we can do that. We can find the flag. Oh, it's just right here. It's in this directory, the root directory. So this is root. We are in the root directory, and we have both the root.txt files and the user.txt files. So let's cat those both out. And let's submit them over at the HackMyVM.eu website. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go over to the website, and I'm going to submit one flag. Click on, so I paste in the flag and I click on flag, and it says correct flag submitted, congrats. Okay, and then I can go back. And then I'm going to submit the other flag. So let me grab the other flag. And then submit that one. And submit that. Okay, and we're done. So after we finished, we also see here that that we're able to take a look at write-ups for this VM over here. I'm pretty sure you're only able to access the write-ups after you've finished submitting the user and the root flags. But let's see, we also have, we can also upvote. We can also upvote the machine. So I think we can just click on this, and it's going to upvote this machine, which we can do to show appreciation for the challenge makers. And we also have a link for X or Twitter, and this one is for just to take a look at the card for this VM. Let me put this in a new tab and see what it is. Okay, so this is just I guess this is just the art for this machine over here. All right, and what is this Twitter? So this Twitter link over here is so that you can share that you completed the machine. Okay, done. All right, and let's take a look at some of these write-ups. So we've got some write-ups over here, and we have them in different languages. I guess it really is an international community over here. So we've got English write-ups, Japanese write-ups, Chinese write-ups, Spanish write-ups. Okay, very cool. All right, so after you finish the machine, if you want to take a look at how other people were testing the machine, you can take a look at the write-ups over here. Okay, so let's move on to our second machine of the evening. So this one is going to be significantly more difficult than the previous challenge. So this one is going to be called Pwned. So let's go back to our machines page over here. And because we're finished with the machine, we can shut down our VM. Let me do that. So over here, I've got my VM. I'm going to send the shutdown signal, click OK. All right, so next we're going to look at the pwned machine. So that's going to be this one right here. So I'm going to provide the link for this particular machine in the chat. All right, so everybody, before we move on, I'm going to play another fun video redeem. Let's take a look at what we have. Oh, we've got all the things. All right, so this is new. So this is the beginning couple riffs for the Hacker rapper anthem. This is called "All the Things" by the hip hop duo Dual Core, and All the Things. So this is a very cool song if you ever want to listen to it in your free time.
This one's dedicated to all the hackers. Yo.
All right, so I hope you appreciate I hope you like all the fun little video clips that we include in these live streams. But all right, so let's take a look at this. It looks like all of these machines share the same. They don't have individualized art like they do on HackMyVM, which is unfortunate. Okay, so this machine is called Pwned, and it came out in wow this machine came out in 2020. So I guess this website has to be at least 4 years old. So that is a much longer history than I was expecting. Okay, so it's got a number of root and user owns over here, and we can go over to the download page. So notes, inside the notes there should be some information that might help us solve the box. It says Pwned is an organization hacked by an attacker. Find the vulnerable in attacker way. So all right, so we can go over to the downloads page, and I've already downloaded this VM, and I've created the VM inside of my hypervisor software, which is VirtualBox. So I'm going to start up the machine. So it's over here. Just let me pull it up. Okay, so this one is called Pwned. I'm going to start up the machine. So it's starting up over here. So the unfortunate thing about this this box right here is that it doesn't give us the IP address. It doesn't give us the IP address on the login screen over here. So we're going to have to look for the IP address on our network ourselves. And let me show you how to do that. So in our console over here, we're going to run the netdiscover command. So netdiscover, and then I think we supply an interface, which is eth0. So eth0 in my case is the network that these VMs share with each other. So I have to be root to run this. So you're going to have to run sudo netdiscover and supply your password. So this might take a little bit of time, because what it's going to do is it's going to iteratively scan all the IP addresses on the network, but you can use the same command if you're looking for a particular virtual machine that you've set up on the network. And that I'll just type in so it's going to be sudo netdiscover and -i. Well, you don't need to necessarily use -i, it's just sudo netdiscover. So netdiscover is installed by default on Kali Linux systems. So if you're using Kali Linux, you don't have to necessarily install it yourself before using it. But if you're using another distribution, you might have to install it yourself before running it. Okay, so we've got machines on these IP addresses. So I'm pretty sure these are not the machine in question, but I could try scanning these IP addresses just to make sure that they are or not what we're looking for. So I'll just remember this. So it's 10.0.2.3. So I'll go over to the other tab. .0.2.3. So it says the host seems down. Okay, so I guess that wasn't the machine that we're looking for. Okay, so eventually this is going to show that there's another machine on the network, and I think the IP address associated with this one was 10.0.2.12, and let me try scanning against that. So 10.0.2.12 in my case over here. So this is So it showed up. It showed up in NetDiscover over here. The thing about NetDiscover is that sometimes it can be a little bit slow because it does have to scan all the IP addresses on the network. But in my case, we found the IP address of this machine over here. So let's go over and run our nmap scan, which we already did. So it's running these services over here, FTP, SSH, and HTTP. So let's run our secondary. I'm going to switch over to the temp directory. So let's run our secondary nmap scan, which includes the port numbers, so 21 and 22 and 80. And we're also going to scan for common scripts and for version information. So we do that. And it should come back relatively quickly. Okay, so what did it get? So over here, we've got port 21. We didn't get any feedback for port 21, so we can probably assume that the FTP service is not running with the anonymous login enabled. Otherwise, it would have reported that. In the case of port 22, it gives us a OpenSSH version over here. And most of the time, the SSH service is not the service you want to attack to get access to the system. But we've got port 80 over here, and that's running an Apache server with this version over here, and it reports that it's running on Debian, and the HTTP title is pwned over here. All right, so let's start investigating. Let's start investigating this website, this web server. So the first thing we want to do is we want to run Nikto. So Nikto, some people think that Nikto is a very old and outdated kind of web vulnerability scanner, but I like to run it just to catch anything that might be low-hanging fruit. So we can run this against the web server here, and immediately it finds a robots.txt file. So there's a entry nothing, and robots.txt is returned a non-forbidden or redirect to HTTP code 200. So we know that this directory exists. So this directory exists because it was found in the robots.txt file. We're going to check out both of those, but what we're also going to do is we're going to do some directory busting. So like the last exercise, we're going to run GoBuster in the directory busting mode, and we're going to run it against 10.0.2.12. Okay, and so if you want to do this yourself, I will provide this command in chat. Let me copy this. Oh, I didn't copy. Did I copy the G? Hold on. Copy, and I will paste it in chat. Okay. Of course, you have to substitute your own IP address out with the one that you have for your own machine. So let's run this command. And we found the nothing directory, which was also in the robots.txt file. And we also found the server status endpoint, which was a 403 not found. And we also found this directory here called hidden text. So we're going to check out all of these directories. So let's copy this IP address and then go over to our Firefox. Going to make a new tab. So we've got a message over here. It says, Vanakkam Namba, hello friend. Okay, a note from attacker. I am Ann Lin. I am the hacker hacked your server with your employees, but they don't know how I use them. Now they worry about this. Before finding me, investigate your employees first, lol. Then find me boomers, XD. Okay, so this is a message from the person who attacked the server. And let's take a look at the HTTP source. So over here, there's nothing. Okay, so we would assume there's nothing new in the source, except there's a comment over here. I forgot to add this on last note. You are pretty smart as I thought, so here I left it for you. She sings very well. I loved it. Okay, so this is kind of cryptic. I'm not too sure what it really means, but we're going to investigate the other things that we found during our enumeration process. So I'm going to close this out, and then we're going to go to the other leads. So first of all, robots.txt exists on this web server, and inside of the robots.txt file, we see that there is the nothing directory. So we can check out the nothing directory. And it says index of nothing. So this directory has directory. Oh, excuse me. I need to take a drink of water. Okay, so this directory has directory listing enabled, which means that we're able to take a look inside of the directory and see all of its contents. So this is another type of web app vulnerability, and in this case, we're able to determine that this file over here exists, nothing.html. So we click on it and take a look, and it says, "I said nothing, bro." Okay, so let's take a look at the page source for this web page. And it says, "I said nothing here. You are wasting your time. I don't lie." Okay, so this might be a dead end, but there is one other directory that we found during our enumeration, which was the hidden text directory, hidden text. So this one is at hidden_text. And this directory is also directory listable. And there is a secret.dic. So dic, I assume, means dictionary. So we can click on that. And here we have a bunch of different endpoints. So these seem to be some different custom endpoints. And what we could do is we could run another GoBuster search using this list right over here. So what we can do is we can copy all of these, and then we can create a file inside of our console. So in our console, we're going to nano endpoints.txt, and we're going to paste in this list of endpoints. And then we're going to save this and exit. And then we're going to run the GoBuster command again. So the GoBuster command is the same as the previous GoBuster command, only the word list that we're using is going to be the word list we just created, which we called endpoints.txt. All right, so we're going to run this GoBuster command against the web server and see if any of the found endpoints in that file are on the web server. So we found one. So this endpoint right here, pwned.vuln, came back as a redirect. So we can check this out ourselves. So we're just going to copy this, and we're going to navigate to it in our web browser. And we have a web page. Sorry, we have a login page. So we've got a username field and a password field. So we don't know what this username and password could be, but it seems that if we got this correct, or if we didn't get this correct, we don't have an indication. There's no error message saying that we logged in correctly or if we did not. But the message over here is Vanakam Namba, which supposedly means hello friend. I hacked your login page too with advanced hacking method. All right. So if we want to find out what language this is, we could copy this and we could go over to some webpage like translate.google.com. And it's got the detect language. We can paste this in. And it says Tamil detected. And it says, hi, my friend. Okay? So Tamil is a language that they speak on the in India. So this is an Indian greeting. Okay. All right. So back at the web page over here. So what we can do here, because we don't know if any of our login methods are working here, we can look at the page source. So Control U, and inside of here, we see that this button over here sends a post request to the web page, but we don't know if it's actually being processed by the web server or not. But in addition to that, we've got this PHP code over here. So the PHP code over here says, if it's set post submit, so if you submit something by the post request, it's looking for these two variables, which is username and password. And it's there's also an if statement, an if conditional here. If the username equals FTP user and password equals this one over here, then it's going to echo welcome and then exit. So the thing is that this is not a PHP page. This is an HTML page. So it could be that this this PHP code appears inside of appears inside of this HTTP source because this page does not process PHP. Also, this is the username provided here. FTP user is a common user account on FTP servers, and we've got a password over here. And because we noted that FTP was one of the services available on this server, we could try to use these credentials to log in. So I'm going to copy the password over here, and I'm going to try to log in using FTP. Okay, so it's going to be FTP and then the server and then the IP address. So we're at the FTP login. It's going to ask for a name. We know that FTP user is a common user account on FTP, and then we're going to supply the password. So I copied the password. I'm just going to paste it in, and then it says login successful. Remote system type is Unix. Using binary mode to transfer files. Okay, so we're in the FTP client. All right, so if we take a look using ls, we see that there is a share directory over here. So it's a directory, and we can enter the directory by using the cd command. Let's take a look at what's in here. So there are two files in here. There's a note.txt file, and there's an ID RSA key. So ID RSA is a file that is commonly used to log in using the SSH protocol without a password. So instead of using a password, you supply this file along with your SSH login, and you're able to log in. So let's grab both of these files. So for FTP, to download files, use the get command, ID RSA, and we're also going to get the note.txt and download that. So one other thing we can do whenever we arrive at a... Okay, so Majorlorian says, seems good. Seems good to you, Majorlorian, and welcome. All right, so I hope you're having fun on this Friday night. So another interesting thing about FTP is that we can, after we're at the base FTP directory, sometimes FTP configurations Magellorian has just followed. Thank you very much, Magellorian. Let's give you a redeem. I'm going to redeem one of our colorful videos, and I'm going to redeem for you. Let's go to Hack. So this is from South Park.
Mr. Hat, may I please be excused from class?
Well, Kyle.
Yes.
You hear me? You go to
Hack.
You go to
Hack.
You
Have a great day. So have a great day, Magellorian. All right. So this is a trick with FTP. Sometimes on misconfigured FTP servers, you can escape the FTP directory, and you do that by doing cd ... which is going to send you up one level inside of the FTP file system. So you see here that we've actually escaped. We've escaped the FTP directory, and we're now at the home directory for this particular web server. So we see that there's these are the home directories for the users on the system. There's FTP user, there's Ariana, there's Selena, and then there's this script file over here called messenger.sh. So this is not super useful for solving the challenge, but this is still something that is very useful to know if you were to encounter FTP in the future. Sometimes FTP is misconfigured, and you can just go wherever you want inside of the file system. So I can go to the top level directory, and I can see everything inside of the web server. Of course, if we were to try to go to the root directory over here, we probably couldn't. So if we were to cd to root, it would say failed to change directory. And that's because we don't have sufficient permissions to enter that directory. So we're done with FTP now. So we're going to exit. And let's see what we got from the FTP directory. So we got this note.txt file. We can just cat that out, note.txt, and it says, wow, you are here. Ariana won't be happy about this note. Sorry, Ariana. So this gives us a clue as to a username we can use. And as well, we have the ID RSA key. So we could try to SSH into the server as Ariana using this SSH key. So I'm just wondering, Magellorian, are you following along with us? We're currently doing HackMyVM.eu. So we're on this page right here with this challenge. So if you have access to something like VirtualBox or VMware, you can download the VM over here, and you can spin up your own Kali attacker machine, and you can solve these challenges along with us. All right, so let's go back to the challenge. Magellorian says, no, but I'm getting nice trips from this stream. Well, I appreciate the fact that you are here, and I'm glad that you are picking up some tips from us solving this machine over here. So let's try to log in as Ariana using the SSH key that we captured over here. So the first thing we need to know is we need to make sure that there are proper user permissions on the ID RSA key over here. So we have to make sure that that not all users can read the file. So what we generally do for ID RSA keys is that we change the file permissions. So it's cmod, and it's going to be 600, and then it's going to be ID RSA. So this command right here, chmod 600 ID RSA, that's going to change the file permissions so that it is compatible with using SSH. So we change that, and now we can log in as Ariana at the web server, and we also have to give the -i argument as well as the name of the key file, which is ID RSA. Okay, So this is going to let us log in as Ariana using the SSH key that we captured. It's going to ask us if we want to continue connecting. The answer is yes, and now we are logged in. So Ariana at pwned, that is the name of the server, and we are in. So let's see. So we are in, and so we were going to ask the question, is this a hacking?
Is this a hacking?
All right, so now that we're in, we need to enumerate our environment. So what directory are we in? We're in the Ariana home directory. And what is in this directory? We can see that there is a user1.txt flag. So there's a user1.txt flag as well as Ariana personal.diary. Okay, so we should probably read both of these. So congratulations, you pwned Ariana. Here is your user flag over here. You need to try harder, need become root. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it in my notes because I'm going to be submitting the flags later. Copy this, and then I'm going to put it in my notes file, and then I'm going to read the Ariana personal diary. So the Ariana personal diary says, "Today Selena fight with me for AJ. So I opened her hidden text on server. Now she is responsible for the issue." Okay, so it seems that there's some sort of drama going on between the users on this server. So there's Selena and there's Ariana and there's some other person named AJ. I'm not sure. Okay, so we can just take note of this. This isn't super relevant to solving the challenge, but you know what is super relevant to solving the challenge? If we go over to the home directory over here, we see that there is a messenger.sh file over here. So this is a script, and if we take a look at the details on this file, messenger.sh is a script file. We know that because the file extension is .sh. And it is owned by the root user, meaning that the script runs with elevated privileges. So that's very interesting. We also need to, as soon as we arrive on any server with a user, we need to determine if they have elevated privileges with sudo. So we can do that with the sudo-l. And we're going to try to find out if Ariana can run any commands as sudo. So we can see here that the user Ariana may run the following command on the system as the Selena user. So Ariana can run this particular script as the Selena user, which is kind of odd. But I'm not too sure what this use case might be, letting one user run the script as another user. So actually this might make sense. This might make sense because let me demonstrate what the messenger.sh script does. So this is a script. It says, so first it clears the screen and then it echoes out this message right here, "Welcome to Linux Messenger." And then it's going to list out the different users on the system by accessing the password file and then doing some formatting. And then it's going to echo enter username to send message, the name, and then it's enter message for this user message, and it's going to. So an interesting thing here is that there's this variable here. So Majorlorian says she hacked Selena and can use her account. I think that might be the case. That might be the case, but another case might be because these two users have to use this script to send messages to each other. they might have to use sudo in order to put messages in each other's home directories. So if you're not able to, if you're to use this script and you didn't have permission to write files to the other user's home directory, then this would fail. So you could write these messages, but they wouldn't appear in the user's home directory. So the interesting thing is that this script right here can be used for privilege escalation, and I'm going to demonstrate how. So we're going to copy the contents of this script, and we can ask ChatGPT what it thinks about the script. So I'm going to ask, I'm solving a CTF challenge. Can this bash script be abused for command injection? And then we will paste in the script, and then we're going to ask the AI. So it says, yes, the provided bash script is vulnerable to command injection due to the way it handles the message attribute, specifically this line. So message, and then it sends everything to dev null. This executes the contents of the message variable as a command. If an attacker can control the message variable, they can execute arbitrary commands on the server. So the thing here is that we can run any command that we want. We can run commands using the messenger script, and because we're able to sudo as Selena, the Selena user, using the script, we can use the script to open up a bash terminal as the Selena user. So we're currently the Ariana user, but by using the script, we can become the Selena user. Let me demonstrate how. Okay. So let's take a look at what this script does normally. So let's run the script. So welcome to Linux Messenger. We've got Ariana, Selena, and FTP user. We can enter a username to send the message to. Let's just say we're going to send it to Selena, and we're going to enter a message for Selena. So what this would normally do, or what this messenger script is supposed to do, it's supposed to create a file inside of the specified user's home directory, and then it's going to leave a message like that. But because we can run this as sudo as Selena, we can become Selena. So I'm just going to send anything over here. But in order to abuse the messenger.sh script, we're going to have to sudo. So sudo home messenger. Oh, okay. So sudo has to, in this case, we have to sudo and specify a user, and the user is going to be Selena. Okay. So this is the command we use. So sudo, we're running this messenger script as the user Selena, and we run this. And for the first part, this is not the message, so we can do whatever we want. But for the second part, we can run bash. And when we run bash, it's going to open up a terminal. And because we're using sudo as Selena, it's going to give us Selena's bash terminal. So it says sending message to Selena. We don't have a prompt, but if we ask who am I, we are Selena. So we're now running a terminal as Selena. So we can go over to Selena's home directory, and then we see these two files over here, Selena personal.diary and user2.txt. So we could improve our terminal over here by using Python. So let's ask if it has Python. So we've got Python 3. So we can give the following command in Python 3 to upgrade our terminal a little bit. So it's going to be pty import pty, and then terminate, and then pty.spawn bin bash. And now our terminal is slightly better. Okay, so let's read these flags. So we're going to cat out the user2.txt flag. Okay. You are near to me. You found Selena 2. Try harder to catch me. Okay. We have the flag, so we can copy that and we can put it in our notes. And then we can cat out the Selena personal diary. So it says, it's Selena personal diary. Today, Ariana fight with me for AJ. So I left her SSH key on FTP. Now she is responsible for the leak. Okay, so this is some more drama between these employees, between these users on the server. So I guess that this is why Ariana's SSH key was on FTP, because Selena put it there to frame Ariana, I guess. So that's the drama right there. Okay, so now we have to find some sort of privilege escalation to become the root user. And if we take a look at the ID for the Selena user, so she's a pretty high level user inside of the system. But we see she's part of these two groups over here. So first, she is part of her own group, which is typical, but she's also part of the Docker group. And Docker is a technology that that can be used to create well, kind of like virtual machines, but virtual environments that have all different environment settings and different distributions of like Linux, for example, but more pertinent to our exercise over here is that Docker can be used for privilege escalation. Containers, yes, Majorlorian, you are correct. So Docker is all about containers. So I'm going to see if we do sudo L to try to check for privileges, it prompts us for a password for Selena. We don't have the password for Selena, so we can't do this. So as far as Docker privilege escalation is concerned, I have a resource that I like to use, which is HackTricks, and HackTricks is written by the same person who created the linps and the winps privilege escalation scripts. So you can so inside of this website over here, you can search for all sorts of different hacking techniques. So I'm going to search over here, and I'm going to search for Docker. So Docker breakout privilege escalation. I'm going to take a look at this article. So it says automatic enumeration and escape. We like this, okay. So mounted Docker socket escape. If somehow you find that Docker socket is mounted inside of the Docker container, you will be able to escape from it. This usually happens in Docker containers that for some reason need to connect to Docker daemon to perform actions. So this is what we do. We look for the Docker socket file. So we use this command right here. So I'm going to copy that, and then, hold on, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to look for this Docker sock file. So it is in this directory right here. /run/docker.sock. Okay, so that means that the Docker socket file is available, so we should be able to escalate our privileges by using Docker. So let's read on. So in this case, you can use regular Docker commands to communicate with the Docker daemon. So first of all, we need to get a list of the Docker images in the system. So we can do Docker images. So we see that there are some Docker containers here. There's Privask, there's Alpine, and there's Debian. And we have so we can use any of these Docker containers over here to do our Docker privilege escalation. So run the image mounting the host disk and ch root on it. Okay, so we can change the root directory, the top level directory. We can run Docker and we can run as a, whenever we run this Docker command, it's going to make us the root user. So if we're able to connect the Docker with the current file system, the host, then we're going to be able to get, we're going to get root privileges on the host. So we would run the following command right here. Oh, okay. Well, so we're not looking for Ubuntu. We're looking for one of these Docker images that we already have. So we would modify this command over here. We could use Alpine over here. So we use Alpine, and we're going to run it, and we're going to with the following flags, which are going to. So I'm not completely sure what all of these flags do, but this will enable us to run the Docker container as if it is on the host system, and it'll give us access to the host file system. So in this case, what we could do is we could copy this command and then go over to ChatGPT and ask exactly what these different flags do. So I'm going to ask the question, what does this Docker command do? Okay, so Docker run, it creates a new container. -it is going to be interactive, so it's going to let us issue commands even if it's not attached. And -t is going to create a pseudo terminal, which provides an interactive terminal session over here. And the -v is going to mount a volume, which is v and then the host path. So host is going to be the directory within the container where the host root directory will be mounted. We specify that we're going to be using this Docker container image, and then we're going to switch the top level directory to the host directory and then run bash. Okay, so let's run the command, and now we are root. So who am I? I am root. So let's redeem the root video. I'm root.
What are you?
I'm system root.
Okay, so Majorlorian, thank you very much. Thank you. And let's grab the, so now that we're root, let's go over to the root directory. And we see that the root flag is here. Let's cat it out. And it says, you found me, I don't expect this. I am AJ and Lynn. I hacked your server, left, and this for you. I hacked your server, left, and this for you. I trapped Ariana and Selena to take over your server. You pwned the pwned. Congratulations. Share this screenshot or flags to give contact details or confirmation. We have a Telegram group, and we have an Instagram for the author and a Twitter for the author as well. So if you want to contact the author by Twitter or by Instagram and tell them that you appreciate the challenge, you can certainly do so. All right, so I guess share the screenshot or flags to give contact details for confirmation. So I guess you would contact the owner over here and then get the flags. Majorlorian, what is that emote over here? What is that that's, I'm not too sure, that it's very small. I can't see what that is. It's something or someone bowing. Bow samurai? Bow samurai, okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Okay, so if you wanted to, I guess if you want to get the flag, you would contact this person on Telegram. That's interesting. Oh wait, no, this is the flag right here. Okay, never mind. You don't need to contact the author. You just need to copy this flag. Okay, let me copy that to my notes, and let's submit these flags. Okay, so back at the web page, you go over to HackMyVM and you submit the flags. So I'm going to submit these flags in order. Paste this in. Oh, I need to log in again. Okay, well, let me log in again then. Let me grab my password. Hold on. So let's see, HackMyVM.eu. I am the Shy Hat. Okay, so let's go back to that page. And submit the flags. Submit this flag. And then submit the other two. Wrong flag. Wrong flag. Okay, let me try submitting the root flag. Okay, correct flag submitted. Congrats. Okay, so after we've submitted our root flag, we can upvote the challenge by clicking on this button right here, and we can also look at the write-ups. So we've got a number of different write-ups in different languages. So we've got English and Chinese and Japanese. And so if you really want to, if you want to know what other people did to complete the challenge, you can read the write-ups. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the CTF challenge. So HackMyVM.eu also has a CTF challenge. It has a few different CTF challenges actually, and you can access them from, let's see, HMV Labs. I do believe it is this button right here. So we've got three different labs for HackMyVM. There is Venus, there is Hades, and there is Temperance. So let's start with the easy challenge over here. This one is called Venus. So Venus is a series of challenges that is very similar to Over the Wire Bandit. So if you've done the Over the Wire Bandit challenges, you should be able to do most of the challenges inside of Venus over here. So if you go over to Venus, and I'll provide the link to this to people in chat. So this is very similar to, whoops, that's too big. Okay, what you need to do is you need to use SSH to connect to the game using the following data. So it's going to be this host right here on port 5000. The first username is hacker, and the first password is have fun. So I'm going to copy this information here, and I'll leave it in the chat so you can all follow along. So with this information, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to, actually, you know what I need to do first? I need to shut down my machine. So the pwned machine over here, it is running on my network. I'm going to shut it down. Whoops. Okay, that's done. All right, so now we can use SSH to contact to play the Venus game. So it's going to be Venus. Oops. It is hacker at venus.hackmyvm.eu, and it's on port 5000, just like this. Okay, so we're going to use SSH to log into the game, and we're going to supply the password, which is have fun. So it is have fun, HAVEFUN, exclamation point. Okay, and we're in. So we're the hacker user. So you'll see that inside of our home directory, we've got two files over here. So there's the README file over here, and there's the mission file over here. Majorlorian says, okay, you made me start up my VM box. You don't need to start up your VM box. You can actually, if you're using Windows, you can just use the command prompt, and the command prompt has an SSH on it as well. Because you don't need to use any tools to, well, actually sometimes you need to use some tools to solve these challenges, but the first few levels you don't need to. Okay, so there's a README file over here, so let's cat this out, readme.txt. Okay, so there's a Spanish version and an English version. So it says, hello Hackser. This is the HMV Lab, Chapter 1 Venus. This is a CTF for beginners where you can practice your skills with Linux and CTF. So let's start. First of all, the home of each user is in /pwned/user. And in it, you will find a file called mission.txt, which will contain the mission to complete to get the password for the next user. It will also contain the flags.txt file, which if you are registered at the HackMyVM.eu, you can enter to participate in a ranking, but this is optional. And for a bit of improvisation, there are secret levels and hidden flags. You will not have write permissions in most folders, so if you need to write a script or something, use the temp folder. Keep in mind that it is frequently deleted. And last but not least, some users can modify the files that are in the folder www. These files are accessible from this URL right here. So if you get a user that can modify the file, www.hi.txt, you can put a message and it will be reflected in this website right over here. So if you have questions, you can join the Discord. Remember, there are more people playing, so be respectful. Hack and fun. Okay, so this tells us that there is a mission.txt file in every level that you can use to see what the objective is for the level. So we're going to cat mission.txt, and the first mission, it says the user Sophia has saved her password in a hidden file in this folder. Find it and log in as Sophia. All right, so this is very similar to Over the Wire Bandit, except that each one of the levels also is associated with a woman's name. So in this case, we're looking for the Sophia user's password, and they save their file in a hidden file in this folder. So does anybody know how we find hidden files using Linux? If we were to look for a file using ls, how would we look for hidden files? The answer is to use the -h. No, the -a. The -a flag. The -a flag is going to show all files, not just the non-hidden files. So if you're to do that, then we see that there is one file in here called .myhiddenpass. On Linux, if a file begins with a dot, that means it's considered a hidden file, and it's not going to show up if you just do your basic ls command. So we see that there is a dot file, a dot file, and a dot file. So this might be connected to the hidden flags that were mentioned in the readme.txt. So let's cat out the myhiddenpassword file. So this is the password for the next level, which is the Sophia level. So let me check my notes to see if the password is still the same. Okay, so this password seems to. So I went through a bunch of these levels earlier, and I'm just checking to see if the passwords are the same. Okay, so this is the same password. So let's look in the ... directory. Oh, ... is not a directory, it's a file. Okay, so ... is a file, and it's only readable by root. So, oh, it's also in the hacker group, so we should be able to read that. So let's read that. Cat ... So this is a hidden flag. So maybe we can submit this and get some extra points. All right, so what I'm going to do is, so was this, let me take a look at the readme, cat readme. It will also contain the flags.txt file, which if you're registered, you can enter to participate in the ranking. So flags.txt. Okay, so where is the flags.txt? Maybe this file is the flags.txt. Okay. So it's this right here. Let's see if we can submit this to get some more points. Okay, so back at the web page, where do we submit our flags? Oh, I guess we submit them over here. So submit your machine, submit your challenge. I guess we're going to submit our challenge. Oh, can we submit the labs? Where do we submit the labs? Oh, no. This is for submitting, okay, for submitting new machines and challenges. Okay, so I need to go to trophies or leaderboard. Where do we submit the flags? You know what? I'll look it up later. Okay, let's move on. But I will copy the value of this flag, so I don't need to go back and get this later. Oh, you know what? We can start up some music now. So I'm going to start up some music. All right, so I definitely don't want this music to drown out my commentary. It's just going to be in the background because this is a little bit more relaxed than the other part of the of this session. Okay, so copy that. I'm going to make some notes. Okay, so what we do in order to advance is we're going to supply the password, and we're going to SU, so switch user to another user. In this case, we're going to switch users to the Sophia user, which is the next level. So SU Sophia, and it's going to ask for the password. Let me grab that password. So if you're following along, you can also use the same. You can also use the same password, and I will paste in the password, and now we are in. Okay. All right, so we are in the wrong home directory, so we're going to cd to home, and then we're going to take a look at what's in here. So flags.txt. Oh, this is what they were talking about, so let's cap that out. So this is the flag for the previous level. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to keep notes. All right, so here we have a mission.txt file. Let's cat it out. It says the user Angela has saved her password in a file, but she does not remember where. She only remembers that the file was called where'smypaz.txt. So in this case, we can use the find command to find out where the file is. So we're going to find, and then we're going to search the entire file system by using this, and then we're going to indicate a name, and the name is this right over here. So copy and paste that. And lastly, what we need to do is we need to put all of the error messages in the trash can, and that's what this does. Okay, so we run that command, and then we find that the file in question is right here. So we can copy the file path, and we're going to put this, and we're going to read this file, and the file is this. And it mentioned that the username for the next level is Angela. So we're going to copy this password over here. And we're going to switch users over to Angela and start the next level. Angela. We supply the password, paste it in, and now we are Angela. Okay, so let's move over to Angela's home directory. And in Angela's home directory, we've got our flags.txt file for the previous level, so we can cap that out. So it's this right here. We're going to copy that. And then we're going to take a look at the mission.txt file. So the password for the user Emma is in line 4069 in the file findme.txt. So this is a specific use of some formatting tools. So findme.txt is right here. It's a very large file. If we were to try to read that ourselves, it would be a big mess. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the sed command, sed. So sed and then n for a specific line number, and it's going to be 4069 key, and we're going to search in the findme.txt file. Okay. So if you're ever lost as to what you should do to get this particular result out of Linux, you can always ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT has helped me solve a lot of different CTF challenges in the last year or so. VMSmith01 says frog, and I say frog back. All right, so let's, just for fun, let's redeem our frog song. So this is a fun little sound effect that sounds a lot like frogs croaking. Welcome to the stream, VM Smith. Very nice to see you here. So we're just doing some challenges on the HackMyVM.eu website, and this series of challenges is called Venus. So Venus is very similar to the over-the-wire bandit challenges, and this is the information you would need to access it using the SSH program. So I've provided the link in the chat, so if you want to participate yourself, go ahead and go to that page, and all the information for how to log in using SSH is right there. VM Smith, how have you been? How have you been? I see you every once in a while on the Teams channels, but how's your week been? It's Friday now. Are you super glad that the weekend's coming up? Okay, so we have to find the password of the user Emma in line 4069 in this file. This is how you do it. Use the sed command with the -n flag, and then supply the number of the line you want to read and the letter P. So run this, and this is the password right here. Okay, so let me note this password right here. Copy that. And VM Smith says, I'm good. TGIF. TGIF to you as well. It's been a long week. but we're here, and the weekend is upon us. All right, so now that we have this password, we can log in as the Emma user. So the Emma user, we su to Emma, and then we provide the password we just got, paste it in, and we are now on the Emma level. So we just need to go over to Emma's home directory, and we need to access the mission.txt file. But first we can read the flag from the previous file, from the previous level, if we want to get some points. So we're going to cat this out, and this is the flag file. Copy that, and we're going to record it in our notes, and then we're going to read what the mission is for this level. So cat mission.txt. So in this level, it says that the user Mia has left her password in a file called this right here. So it could be hyphen, or it could be minus, or it could be dash, but this special character right here has to be accessed in a very special way on Linux. So instead of Linux, if we were to try to cat this out, then we would not be able to get anything. We would have to use Control-C to get out of this. So because this is a special character, we need to reference this in a specific way on Linux, and we would specify this directory by doing /, and then we would supply the minus or dash or hyphen or whatever you want to call it. And then you would supply cat with that, and then you get the contents of the file right here. So this is the password for the next level. Copy this, and let's see if there's anything else in here. All right, doesn't look like there is. So we have to become the user Mia for the next level. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to switch users to Mia, and then supply the password. Paste it in, and now we are Mia. So after we've become the Mia user, we need to go over to the Mia user's home directory. And in here, we have our flag. So let's get the flag, which is this. So we will copy this, and we're going to record it. And then we're going to read what the mission is for this level. So we're going to cat that out. Okay, it says, it seems that the user Camilla has left her password inside a folder called Here I Am. So we're looking for something inside of the folder. So Here I Am. The first thing we need to do is, thank you very much for following Widowson124. Widowson124, let us greet you by redeeming one of our videos, and let's do all the things. So this is from the Nerdcore rap, all the things, drink all the booze, hack all the things. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Widowson124, and welcome to the chat. All right, so if you want to join along with us, you can take a look at the link above. It is HackMyVM.eu/Venus, and we're currently doing this game right here. So what we need to do first is we need to find the Here I Am directory. So we can use the find command to locate the directory. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to do find in the entire file system, and then -d for directory, and then -name to specify the name, and then we specify Here I Am as the directory name. And the last thing we need to do is we need to put all of the error messages in the dev null trash bin. So we run that, and it's in this directory right here, opt Here I Am. So let's navigate there. So there's a hidden directory. There's a hidden file in here called .here. So let's read that. So cat.here. And this is the password we're looking for. So copy the password. And I don't remember what the name was that we're looking for. Let me go back to the home directory and look at the mission again. So it says the user Camilla. So Camilla is the next user we need to become. So su to Camilla, and then paste in the password. And we are now on the next level. So we need to go over to the home directory. And we have the flag file over here, which we can cat out. We're gonna add this to our list of flags. And now we're going to take a look at the mission.txt file. So cat mission. All right, so the next mission here, it says the user Luna has left her password in a file inside of the muac directory, muac. So password inside of the file. Okay, so we need to, I guess what we need to do is we need to run the file command. So the file command is going to let us know what kind of contents a file has. So if we were to enter the directory muac, we see that there's a bunch of different directories in here, and I suspect that each one of these directories has a bunch of other directories or a bunch of other files in here. So, oh, you know what? There's one file. There's one directory in here that has a much larger file size than the other directories. It's the 69 one right here. So it might be right here. Okay, so that was this was an unexpected win. Let's navigate to the 69 directory. Okay, so it's in here, but there's a lot of other stuff in here as well. So we don't know what the contents of this directory might be. So what we should do is we should run the file command on anything we find inside of here. And the way we do that is we use the find command inside of the current directory, and then we're looking for files, type equals F, and then we need to pipe that into the zargs command. So zargs is going to run a command on all of the files that we find here, and we're going to run the file command on this, which is going to tell us whether or not there's readable text inside of the file. So when we run this find command, it's going to look for all the files inside of these directories, and if it finds any files, we're going to run the file command on them by using the zargs command. So if we were to run this, what did I do wrong? Oh, okay. I think we need to do / to indicate this directory. No? No? Okay. Maybe we need to back out and run it on this directory right here. So find inside of the muac directory, we're looking for type file, F for file, and then we're going to run zargs and see if there's the contents of the file. Okay, so in this case, we found that inside of this directory right here, there is a file with ASCII text, and we were able to find it by running zargs on everything that was found using the file command. So let's cat that file out. Okay, so this is the password for the next level. So I don't quite remember what the name was for the next user, so I'm going to go back to the home directory and read the mission file. So Luna is the next level, so we're going to su to Luna and paste in our password, and we're going to go to Luna's directory. So here we can read the flag file first, which is this, and we're going to add it to our pile of flags. Okay, and then we're going to read what the mission is for this level. Okay, so the user Eleanor has left her password in a file that occupies 6969 bytes. Nice, nice. So this is another case where we need to use the find command, and in this case it's going to be find, and it's going to be type F for file, and it's going to be size, and it's going to be 6969C for bytes. And as usual with these find commands, we need to do this particular end to the file in order to not get a bunch of error messages for files that we don't have access to. Alright, so run this, and it finds this file right here, so moon.txt. Let's read that, copy the file path, and paste. And this should be the password for the next level. Copy that. And I think Eleanor is the next level, so let's switch users to Eleanor. The password is this. Let's read the flag. This is it. Let us add this to our collection, and then let's read the mission file. So it says the user Victoria has left her password in a file in which the owner is the user Violin. Alright, so this is another find command solve. So we're going to find inside of the file system. We're going to look for the user Violin, and we're going to look for a file, type F, and I think that should be sufficient. Okay, so let's do error messages to devnull and run that command. Okay, so we have this file right here. So we're going to cap that out. And this should be the password for the next level. So we're going to copy this. And we're going to switch users over to Victoria. Paste in the password. And we're in. Okay, so we have our flag as usual. Let's grab that flag. Okay, so we have the flag. Now let's take a look at the mission. So the user Isla has left her password in a zip file. So we've got this zip file right here called password.zip. So we can unzip password.zip. Ah, okay. So we can't, right. We don't have write permissions in here. So what we need to do is we need to put this in the temp directory. So first of all, we need to copy this file over to the temp directory. So we're going to copy password.zip to the temp directory. And then we're going to move to the temp directory. And then we're going to unzip the password file. Unzip password.txt, password.zip. Okay. So replace, we're going to say yes, replace it. So we now have it created a file path, pwned Victoria password.txt. So we're going to read that file. So we just need to cat that and copy over the file path, copy paste, and this is the password. Okay, copy that. And if I remember correctly, we have to switch over to the Ela? I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. And then supply the password. All right, let's move to the home directory and cat out the flag. So we will add this to our collection of flags. And then we'll read the mission file. The password of the user Violet is in the line that begins with A9HFX. These 5 characters are not part of her password. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to use the sed command again. So sed is, well, let's let ChatGPT tell us what the sed command does. It's a very useful Linux command. What is the Linux sed command? So basically, the sed command in Linux stands for Stream Editor. It is a powerful utility used for parsing and transforming text in a scriptable way. It operates on text files or input streams and allows for a variety of text manipulation tasks, such as substitution, deletion, insertion, and more. So there's a number of different Linux formatting commands, such as sed and awk and cut, and these are very powerful tools for transforming output of text. And we use them. People who use a lot of Linux use these commands all the time. So going back, we need to use the sed command to look for the line that starts with this particular string, and we do that with by doing sed and then n, which means it's looking for this particular pattern, and it's going to be starts with, and I think the caret over there means starts with, and then we need to copy over the pattern and then paste it in. And then we need to specify the file. Oh, we need to specify the end of the pattern. So the end of the pattern is /p, and then we need to supply the name of the file, which is passy. Okay, I think, yeah, so this is going to look for the line that starts with A9HFX. Oh, what's wrong with this command? Oh, I need to put a slash. So this needs to be slash and then caret, which is the beginning of the pattern, and then slash and then p is the end of the pattern. So we're going to run this, and then it finds this right here. So remember that this is not part of the password right here. So what is the password is everything that comes after the X. So after the X is this is the password for the next level. So copy this, and we need to become the user Violet. So let's do that. Switch users to Violet, and then we paste in the password, and we're done. Okay, So let's move over to their home directory. And there's a flags.txt file. Let's read that. And add this flag to our pile of flags. Okay, let's take a look at what the mission is for this level. Okay, so it says the password of the user Lucy is in the line that ends with 0JUAZ. So this is very similar to the previous level. I'm pretty sure we just use sed the sed command to do the same thing that we did in the previous level. And we're looking at the end. We're looking at the end file over here. So the end file over here, we're going to use the sed command again, and we're going to, I need to get the pattern. So the pattern is this. So the line has to end with this. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to run sed, and I'm going to give it a pattern over here. And the pattern has to be this, that we need to supply some. So it's going to be slash to indicate the beginning of the pattern, and then the end of the pattern is going to be, the end of the pattern is going to be $/$ $/p. And we have to indicate the file. The file is end. So run this. And this should be the password over here. Only we have to ignore this portion. Okay, so we ignore that portion and we just copy this. This should be the password for the next level. Copy. And then we're going to become the Lucy user. So su Lucy. Paste in the password. And then we move over to the home directory. Okay, so we're going to get our flag, which is this. Add it to the pile of flags. And then we're going to look at the mission. So in this mission, the password of the user Elena is between the characters FU and okay. All right, so I think we're going to use sed again, but this one is going to be a more complicated looking pattern. So we're looking for the file.yo file over here, and we're going to do sed, and it's going to be file.yo, and we're going to supply the pattern in the middle here. So for the pattern, we need to specify the beginning, which you do like this, and then you supply the beginning of the pattern, and then you have to specify that anything can go in the middle, which you can do like this. So I'll confess that I found the method of completing this level through ChatGPT. It was very useful. I hope you don't hold that against me. And we have to end the pattern with this. It's it's very complicated. All right, so let's see if we can find something. Oh, okay. So I think I included one too many backslashes. Magellorian says use everything at our disposal. That's correct. It's not cheating unless they tell you you can't use that tool. So I think I included one too many backslashes. So let me check let me check my code here. Oh, okay. I forgot to put an extra backslash over here. Oh, didn't find anything. Wait, I've got the command that I used. That I used saved on a clipboard. Okay, so it looks like I was copying this over, and it looks like I forgot this asterisk. Anyways, run this, and we get this. So this is the password for the next level. So this is the user Elena. So we need to switch users over to Elena. And thanks for sticking around, Majorlorian. I hope you're following along and solving the levels with us. All right, so we're at Lucy now. So no, we're at Elena. So we are Elena, and we can cat out our flag, which is this. Copy it and add it to the pile. And then we can cat out our mission. So the user Alice has her password in an environment variable. So this is talking about Linux user environment variables. So inside of Linux, there are a number of different variables that are assigned to users, and you can access them using the following command. So it's going to be echo what? No, it's going to be print_env. Print_env for print environment variables. So inside of all of our environment variables, there is a password. And this is going to be the password for the next level. So we're going to copy this password, and then we're going to become the Alice user. So we see that these are all the different environment variables for this user. So their shell is bin bash, their home directory is going to be pwned Elena, and all this other stuff over here. And we also have a flag. Oh, is this a hidden flag? Maybe I should copy this so I can submit it later. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm also going to copy the password. So this is the password, and then we're going to move on to the next level as Alice. Okay, so we're going to cat out this flag, and we're going to add it to our collection. And then we're going to look at what the mission is. So the mission is the admin has left the password of the user Anna as a comment in the file password. Okay, so the password file is the file on a Linux system that has all the user information. So if you were to just look at it normally, it's an etc password. It's going to have the information for all of the different users on the system, and it's also going to list what their home directory is, and it's going to list out what kind of shell that they use, what kind of terminal rather. So most people are going to use this bin bash terminal. So what we need to do is we need to look at comments inside of the password file. So we can look at the comments inside the password file by using the cut command, strangely enough. So cut D. So you know what? I'm interested in why we access comments inside of the password file using the cut command. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT. How do we see comments inside of the password file in Linux. So an interesting thing about this is that the password file is the information inside of it is kind of wonky. So comments within files are denoted by the hash character. However, the etc password file, which contains user account information, does not traditionally include comments within its lines. Instead, each line in etc password follows a specific format without internal comments. So each line in the etc password file represents a user account, contains 7 fields separated by colons. So it's got username, password, user ID, all this good stuff. So viewing comments in the geckos field. Where does it mention the geckos field? So John Doe room, okay, this information right here is in the geckos field, which can contain user information and comments. So this is a, oh, you know what? I think we can just grep the password file for Alice, and we can get the information that way. So if we were to cat mission.txt, user Anna as a comment in the file password. So what we do is we cat password.txt. So we cat password, and then do we just grep for Anna? There's no comment here. Okay, so let's go back to ChatGPT. So it says viewing comments in the geckos field. It does not have traditional comments, but the geckos field can be used to store additional comments about the user. To view this information, you have to use the cat, grep, or awk commands to examine the file. Here are some examples. We can just cat it, or we can use grep, or we can use the command that searches for the line that starts with John, or you can use awk. So we can use awk to extract the geckos field right over here. So this command prints the username and geckos field for each entry. Okay. So we could do this. So we could use this awk command right here on the password file, and then we can grep for Anna. I think Anna was the one we're looking for. So we can use this command right here, which grabs the geckos field, and then we can grep for the user Anna. Oops, whoops, we have to grep. It just gets Anna. Okay, so we're going to just get the geckos field, and maybe it doesn't have to use the, it doesn't have to contain the name Anna. Okay, so, are we Alice? We're Alice, okay. So we're Alice, and it has this, this comment right here in the geckos field under Alice. So this is the password we're looking for. So we can copy that, and then we can become the Anna user using that password. Okay. Let's cat out our flag and add it to the pile. And let's take a look at our mission. So cat mission. Okay, so it says maybe sudo can help you to be Natalia. All right, so sudo Natalia. So the first thing we need to do is we need to determine what our current sudo permissions are. So we would do sudo -l. It says here, so we're the Anna user. So what are our sudo permissions? The user Anna may run the following commands on Venus. So as Natalia, as the user Natalia, we can run bin bash without supplying a password. So in order to run sudo as another user, in this case Natalia, with this command over here, bin bash, this is what you would do. So this is not going to ask us for a password, and we're going to become the Natalia user by running this command over here, which is going to open up a bash shell for us. Okay, and now we're Natalia, and we're done. So let's go over to Natalia's home directory. And we're going to get that flag. Okay, so we might solve a couple more of these levels, and then I'm going to have to call it quits. It's getting a little bit late over here. Okay, so let's get the mission. So the password of the user Eva is encoded in the base64.txt file. So base64.txt file. Oh, we also have the password for the Natalia user over here, just in case we need to come back. So we can just grab that, and it's this right here. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to put it in our notes. Okay, and it says we need to use the base64.txt file. So in order to do base64 decoding, we have to use the following Linux command, which is base64 /d for decode, and then we supply the name of the file, which is base64.txt, and this is the password. Copy that, and we're going to become the next user, which is Eva. su Eva, paste in the password, cat the flag. Okay, and we're going to add this to our list of flags, and now let's look at the mission. So the password of the Clara user is found in the file modified on May 1st, 1968. So the problem with this particular challenge is that the time of a file is only generally kept track of after the date, some date on 1970. So let's take a look at what date does Linux start tracking? What date does Linux start tracking timestamps for? Is it something after 1970? ChatGPT doesn't know how to answer this. Okay, so let's try asking this question again. Okay, so it says here that Linux and Unix-like systems in general start tracking timestamps from the Unix epoch, which is January 1st, 1970 at this time UTC. This date is often referred to as the epoch and is used as the base reference point for time in many operating systems and programming languages. So the real question is, times before this epoch are represented as negative numbers. For example, -1 represents December 31st, 1969. Oh, interesting. So we could probably So we could probably get files that are referenced before 1970 by using a negative value. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so the challenge here is it's a file modified on May 1st, 1968. May 1st, 1968. So let's ask, what if we want to find a file from May 1st, 1968, which negative value would that be? So you can tell that this is not a question that ChatGPT gets very often because it's taking a while to formulate its answer. So we're going to regenerate that. Okay, so it's starting to do math, and doing math is not what it's good at. Okay. So I'm going to say this was a better answer. So if this is the case, how would we use the find command to locate a file from May 1, 1968? Okay, so it says to use the find command to locate a file with a modification of time around May 1st, 1968, you would need to consider that the Unix find command typically works with timestamps relative to the current time and does not directly support dates before the epoch, which is 1970. However, you can find files based on their modification time using the newer and bang newer options within the reference files or timestamps. So you can create reference files with specific timestamps using the touch command, and then using these files with the find command. So first we need to create a reference file for this date, which is done like this, and then create a reference file for the next day. This command sets the timestamp of the temp end date file to May 2nd, 1968. So to find files modified, you can use the newer and So we'd have to use this command right here. So this command will locate files that were modified between May 1st, 1968 and May 2nd, 1968. To verify that we have reference files that have the correct timestamps, this should display. Okay, so this got very complicated very, very quickly. So we went from using sudo to become another user to trying to reference files that. But the other method you can use is you can use mtime. So we're going to ask ChatGPT, what is the find flag called mtime? So the mtime flag in the find command is used to search for files based on their modification time. The mtime flag allows you to specify the number of days since the file was last modified. This can be particularly useful for finding files that were modified a certain number of days ago. So the basic syntax is this. So n is the number of days ago. If n is 0, it matches files modified within the past 24 hours. So what we could do is we could use mtime in order to find files that were modified a number of days ago, which were modified a number of days ago to the point where they were modified back in 1968. So if we were to get a calculator to calculate the amount of time since May 1st, 1968, we could do we could probably find some sort of tool online. Days since date calculator. Date duration calculator. Days between dates, time, and date. Okay? So let's do this. So today is July 26, 2024, and oh, so no, this should be the end date. 07/26, 2024, and the start date should be May is 05 and 01, and the day is 1968. Okay, and then we calculate the duration. So this is 20,540 days. Okay, so 20,540 days. Okay, so we can use mtime with this number of days. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to go back to here. We're going to find in the entire file system. We're going to find files, and we're going to find it using mtime, modification time, and it's been this many days. And we're going to submit everything that is an error to devnull. So this is using find to find files that were modified within this many days or more. This many days or less. No, this many days or more. And let's see what it finds. I didn't find anything. So let's try making this number a little bit smaller. So let's make it 19,000. Okay, and it found a file. So this file was modified this many days ago. So we can cat this out, and this is the password for the next level. All right, so I think this is the user Clara. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to make a note of that password. All right, so everybody, we're going to Magellorian. Yeah, it took me a while to research that particular answer. I tried for a long time to do what ChatGPT was suggesting over here, but it never worked. So I started to do some research about that mtime flag over there, and it turns out that you can use mtime to locate files that were created after the date 1970. All right, so we're going to call it here. This was as far as I got, as far as the Venus challenges are concerned. But the next time we cover this, we'll pick up at this point. But I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody who came by the stream. Thank you very much to Magellorian, and thank you very much to VM Smith and everybody else who came by. Magellorian says thank you for the stream. Well, thank you very much for coming by. we're going to end off with a good redeem for Hack the Planet, which is what we love to do.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up and get it.
All right, let's see if there's anybody else from the InfoSec community streaming right now. So there's a fun little infosecstreams.com. This is a fun little website. That's zero cool, exactly. But a CloudSec Ninja is streaming right now. So let's see if we can raid their channel. So let me take a look at what they're doing. We have to watch an ad. Just a second, everybody. So watching video on my Kali box is actually not very good because it's a VM. But it looks like they're doing MongoDB Docker stuff. So please join us in raiding a CloudSec Ninja. CloudSec Ninja, and please tell them that the Shy Hat sent you. All right, so everybody, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.